Welcome back to Clair to Lune from Scratch. We're now up to measure 38, and we're starting to see an awful lot of these ledger lines. And I don't know if it's just me, or maybe it's just too early in the morning for me, but I'm getting sick and tired of seeing all these lines and having spent all this time counting up and down manually. So what I thought I'd do is I thought I'd create a whole new set of mnemonics just for these ledger lines climbing, since we're dealing with so many of them. So let's see if we can come up with something fun. I've gone ahead, to save us a little bit of time, I've gone ahead and cut measure 38 out. And right off the bat, as you can see, we've got this note kind of flying up in the stratosphere. And so let's quickly do this. We know from our treble clef, we created this mnemonic, great big dog fur, counting up the lines from the G that this represents. Okay, so from this G clef coming out, we know this top note, the top line over here is an F. Okay, so from that top F, let's go ahead and just manually work this out, and then we'll come up with our mnemonic. F, G, A, I'm skipping the space, A, B, C, C, D, E, E, F, G. Okay, so that comes up to, let me just go ahead and get rid of this one over here, comes up to the letters A for the first ledger line above here, and then C, and then E, and then G. Of course, we can keep going with more lines. So what I thought I'd come up with would be the mnemonic, all climbs equal growth. Now, it kind of breaks my rule. I try to keep monosyllabic things for these, but I think it works really well. All climbs equal growth. A, C, E, G, as you can see. So once again, just going up from the G clef itself, great big dog fur, okay, and that takes us to the top of the ledger line, the staff lines. We call these, by the way, we call these regular lines over here the staff lines, and then above that we have ledger lines, or what I sometimes call ladder lines, okay? So above that we're going to use all climbs equal growth. Okay, so that's going to be our new mnemonic to find notes up in the G clef stratosphere. Okay, so knowing that, now let's just go ahead and review a couple things before we continue. Remember, we've got 4 sharps, and the 4 sharps are going to be F sharp, G sharp, C sharp, and D sharp. So we've got to keep those sharps in mind whenever we're climbing up in this area because of our new key signature. Remember that? So we have on here our top note is going to be a G. All climbs equal growth. So that's going to turn into a G sharp over here as I'm quickly mapping this out. So let's go ahead and map this out as a G sharp. Okay? And while I'm up here, let's go ahead and I'm going to just skip over to the next top melody note over here. Okay? All climbs equal. All climbs equal. Now this note is right above that. Okay? So that's going to be an F. Since this is one of our sharp notes, that's going to be a sharp F over here. See how that works? Okay? So we have melody notes G sharp and then F sharp, okay? Let's go ahead and map out very quickly the rest of our right-hand notes, okay? Great big dog fur, right above the F over here is a G, so that's another G sharp. You notice now, as I'm fond of pointing out, here we have another octave, okay? So this is within the right hand over here, you can see that, okay? And then we're going to go ahead and map the rest of this quickly. So here we go, all climbs, that's a C, one of our sharps over here, C sharp, okay? And then all, that's the start of our ledger line counting, so that's the A, of course, okay? So the first set is over here, G sharp, octave, okay? And I'm going to use the fingers I just played for you just now. 5, 1, 3, 2, okay? And then we go to our F sharp, okay? Let's map up the rest of these notes very quickly. And as you can see, we're in the top line. Great big dog fur, that's an F or an F sharp, okay? All climbs, so here's C, C sharp over here, all, okay, see how I'm doing that? Okay, and as you can see, these 3 notes are the same as these 3 notes. And again, once again, just to highlight that this is also an octave. Let me just do that in the same color, just so we can keep consistent, okay? So octave here in the right hand, octave, and we're going to use the same 3 fingers here. And of course, I'm going to use the same fingerings because these shapes are very similar between the 2 octave sets. 1, 3, 2, 5, 1, 3, 2, and then 1, 3, 2. Okay? So let's quickly map out the left hand notes. You have to remember, our left hand is also in the G clef territory. Okay? See that? G. All right, so first note is here. Okay? G sharp. Next note above, A, B, C, or C sharp, okay? And then, look, we were right below that, F or F sharp, okay? Skip A, skip that, C sharp, okay? Now here we have these two notes together. Okay, now here's something very interesting over here. Let me just point this out. Here we have a sharp, and it's kind of hard to tell. Again, remember what I told you, when we're looking at sharps, you always want to look at the belly of the sharp. Okay, it might be a little bit small to see on your screen, but the belly of this sharp, let me see if I can just make this a little clearer over here. The belly of this sharp is kind of coinciding with the line note over here. So it's going to be the lower note that's going to be affected. And that's an E. Now, as we've seen with other notes that don't have a black key right next to them, if there's no black key right next to this E, an E sharp is going to be that note. Okay? Okay, so an E sharp moves up to here. That's the E sharp. Now it's being played together with this F. Wait a minute, this is an F. But if you recall, hey, our F is already sharp. So what we're actually doing is playing an E sharp and then an F sharp over here. See how that works? Okay? So E sharp, F sharp. Kind of a cool sound there. F sharp, E sharp. And these two are played together. Okay? Let me just go ahead and get rid of that. It's a little confusing to see. Okay, let's look at the rest of our notes. F, G, A, and A, B, C, or C sharp over here. Okay? So here's what we're going to do. Let me give you the fingering for the left hand very quickly. All right? Left hand, we're going to use a 3, 2, 1. Okay? 3, 2, 1. And then a... Okay, I'm actually thinking maybe we can move to a 4, 2, 1 over here. Here we go. Okay, I hope you can see that. 4, 2, 1. Now one option is to kind of just stay there and add your fifth finger if you like. Okay. 4, 5, 2, 1. Okay, that's one option. If that's uncomfortable, another option would be to move over your fourth finger, slide it down, and then play that with a 3, 4. So I'm giving you a couple of options here, okay? So a 3, 4 is another option. In fact, my preference is probably going to be for the 3, 4, even though it means moving this away from that position and opening your hand up a little bit. I think it's worth it, just because I tend to find that these fingers are just a little more or equal in size. Here you've got a long finger, a very short finger. You know, you experiment with what you prefer. Okay, some people may like this better. That's fine. Okay, so just again, I try to give multiple options. My hands are not the same size as your hands, most likely, and your hands are not the same size as mine. Okay, you have so many different hand shapes. That's why I want to encourage you, show you some options, and there are lots of creative ways of approaching fingerings. So please do what feels best to you. Okay, so let me just go ahead and play this through, and just as a quick overview, the pedaling is going to go like this. Okay, pedal on the note over here. I'm sorry, I'm writing over these note names for you, but. Okay, that's how the pedaling is going to work. Okay, so from here, now if you'd like to move over, now one thing I'd like to ask you to do, if possible, okay, with this top note over here, this note is being held an extra long time. It's a dotted half note. It actually technically holds it through. So if you can, try to get that fifth finger here, at the very least, to stick on even after the pedal is changing down here, okay? So one more time. Hold it through, okay? All right? So you want to try to connect that top note. Let's do it one more time, and this time what I'm going to do very quickly, if I have time. You know, I think I actually have no time. I'm out of lesson time over here. So we'll go back, and I'll try to do a quick review later on. We'll do a few more measures, and then we'll do an overview to connect all the measures together, okay? So very good. I'll see you at the next lesson.